Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning everyone. Okay, so today we continue our lectures. Before this, we already cover for the topic construction for the concrete floor. So today we continue for the construction for the timber floor. Okay, uh, so before we go to our lectures, we must to know about what is a timber floor. Okay, so what the factor that we must to consider. So the factor that should be considered for the construction is the floor are used to give the lateral restraint to the wall, and where the joints run the parallels to the wall straps need to be installed as shown in the detail below. Normally this strap need to be positioned every 2 meters along the walls, but up to 3 meters if accessible, where this is to allow the formation of the stairwells or the similar opening in the floor. The galvanized mile steel strap must have the minimum cross-sectional area of the 30 to 5 mm. Okay, this is a sketch. When you look the sketch, for the construction timber floor, we must to find the thickness of the tongue and the groove boards. We must to know the floor joists, and then the spacing of the floor joists, based on dimension between their center points, like this. And then we must to identify the clear span of the floor joists taken as a clear dimension between the support. Okay, so they have a support, they have the joints, they have the thickness of the tongue of the groove board, and the spacing of dimension between their center point. Alright, so take the floorboard span as the joint spacing. Okay, so around the stairwells and similar opening, it is often necessary to use framer beam to support the end of the joints. These details are dealt with separately on the guidance note number 009. With the joint support or partition wall of the underparts, there usually needs to be double up to support the increasing localized loading. On the joist span over 2.5 meters, strutting is required to prevent joist twisting when the loaded. For the span of the between 2.5 and 4.5 meters, only one of row of the strutting is needed at the mid-span position. For the span over the 4.5 meters, 2 rows of the strutting will be required, positioned at the 1/3 and 2/3 span position. Solid strutting should be at least 38 mm thick timber extending to at least 3/4 the depth of the joist. For the example, 200 equal 50 mm joist will need at least 150 divided to 38 mm timber used as the strutting. So the herringbone strutting should be at least 38 divided 38 mm timber, but can only be used where the spacing between the joist is less than 3 times the depth of the joist. Okay, hence for 150, that's 50 joints, herringbone strutting can only be used up to a spacing of the 450 mm, but for a 250 joints, a spacing up for the 60 mm would be satisfactory. See the detail below. Okay, so the bringing heritage strut, and the function of the bringing is to transfer a load. So when we look the drawing, the load of transfers, they go to the herringbone to support the joint. For twisting, floor will be not stable to support the joint from the twisting. So that is the function of the bringing of herringbone strut. Okay, so herringbone strutting using the minimum 38 30mm section timbers, or another one is a solid strutting using 30mm minimum thickness of the timber. So they have two type. One is a herringbone set, and then one is the solid. So you can identify how to install the herringbone or the solid stagger. So when we look at another pictures, the joists, the picture number 1, the joists overlapping over the supporting internal wall, and second pictures is look like a joist supporting by the joist hangers to a major structure beam. Okay, so this is a type of okay, so they have the subflooring, they have the joist splicers, so they have the guider behind this splicers, so they have the pier and posts, they have seals, and then they have the floor joist, foundation, header joist, and solid blocking. Okay, so this is another installation for the timber floor. So they have the band, they have the joist, they have stud, they have plate, they have subflooring and seal. So you must understand the peletakan ataupun dia punya installation, placing every type of element for the construction of the timber. Okay, floor timber, right? So another construction for the timber flooring is they have put the insulation at the behind the bench joist, and then biasalah dia ada floor joist, they have foundation wall and separate. The insulation is sometimes is more to absorb the heat from heat. Alright, another is the number 3 of the pictures, and you can see this. They have the added joist, they have the subfloor, they have the saw plate, they have the stud, and then they have the corner post, stud, saw plate, and the bottom is they have the seal, they have the outside joist and seals. Okay, so let's we go to another pictures. So this is a herringbone struts, and then this one is a blocking used to the brace joist, and then they have the joist built into the wall structures. So when you look for these pictures, the joist is fixed to the wall, and then they have the baseboard, and then they have the plank floor covering. Okay, this is when you look from the original pictures. Alright. Okay, so you can see the herringbones, you can see the joists, and then they have alright. So for the timber flooring, they have 3 types for installation for the timber flooring. First is single joist timber beams, double joist timber beam, and frame triple joist timber floor. Okay, so we go through for the construction basement ground floor for timber. Okay, so at the bottom they have the slipper wall plates, and then they have TPC, the function for the function to membrane DPC lapisan kain lembap, membrane course Okay, so they have the wall, and then they have the floorboards, and they have the bringing joists. Okay, and then at the core they have